Since the earliest days, humans have relied on hunting not just for survival, but for skill and adventure. Today, that tradition lives on, though the animals and methods have changed. In this video, I'm taking you into the world of modern hunters as they track coyotes, challenge wild turkeys, outsmart baboons, and go after the elusive white-tailed deer. Coyotes. Coyotes are one of the most adaptable animals in North America. They have made homes in almost every type of environment: coniferous and deciduous forests, grasslands, deserts, and even urban neighborhoods. The United States coyote population is estimated at around 4.7 million, with Texas hosting the largest number, about 800,000. Coyotes generally weigh between 20 and 50 pounds and can run up to 40 miles per hour. As omnivores, they eat a wide variety of food, fruits, vegetables, meat, and even carrion. This varied diet sometimes brings them into conflict with humans, as they may damage crops or prey on livestock. Because of this, hunting coyotes is legal in the United States, although rules vary by state regarding hunting seasons and licenses. While their meat is rarely eaten, coyote fur is valuable in the fur and handicraft industries. The best times to hunt coyotes are late fall and winter mornings or late afternoons. Cold weather makes them more active during the day, and the thinner vegetation makes spotting them easier. Hunters often search in open fields, forest edges, areas near rivers and swamps, or farmland where food sources are plentiful. They usually choose high vantage points to observe without being seen. Hunters often use electric or mouth calls to imitate injured prey or other coyotes, but professional hunters do this sparingly to avoid making the animal suspicious. Once a coyote is in sight, a quick, accurate shot ensures a humane death and preserves the fur's value. Aside from firearms, another effective method is the dirt hole trap. This involves digging a hole about 12 to 13 inches deep, placing the trap inside, and covering it with a thin layer of soil for camouflage. Coyotes avoid rough ground, so hunters keep the trap area smooth. Fresh meat or a mix of rodent and bobcat meat can be used as bait, along with coyote or bobcat urine to create a scent trail. Once set, the hunter simply waits for the animal to step into the trap, like seen in this video. Baboons. In Africa, hunting baboons is a challenging task that requires skill, patience, and quick reflexes. Baboons are primates with strong dog-like muscles, powerful jaws, and sharp canine teeth. They are omnivores, eating everything from fruits, seeds, and insects to small animals like rock hyraxes and even young antelopes. Because of these foraging habits, baboons often wander into areas where people live, stealing food, injuring livestock, and damaging property. In some cases, aggressive baboons have even attacked humans. In the past, they were considered pests and hunted freely without restrictions. Today, however, baboon hunting is controlled and carried out mainly for population management and maintaining ecological balance. Licensed hunters can legally hunt baboons in several African countries, including South Africa, Namibia, and Cameroon. Even with permission, hunting baboons is far from easy. Hunters may use traps or bait, such as fruit or animal carcasses, to lure them, but the success rate is only about 30%. This is because baboons are incredibly cautious. Within a troop, one alert baboon can spot danger and give a warning call in less than half a second, causing the entire group to scatter immediately. With their sharp eyesight and hearing, baboons can also detect an ambush before it's too late, forcing hunters to act swiftly and quietly. When hunting, there's only a small window of time, often just a few minutes, to spot the target, aim, and take a shot. Rifles are a popular choice, with hunters aiming for the chest cavity just behind the front legs, where the hardened lungs are located. The ideal shooting range for safety and accuracy is between 100 and 150 feet. Besides rifles, bows and arrows are also used. Many foreign hunters prefer modern compound bows for precision, while some indigenous tribes still rely on traditional wooden bows passed down through generations. Both methods demand steady hands, accurate aim, and unwavering patience. Let's see how hunters dispatch baboons. Wild boar. On a June morning in 2022, a Texas farmer woke up to a devastating sight. Over 2,000 pounds of crops destroyed, the ground ripped apart with deep, winding trenches. The culprits? Wild boars, one of the world's 100 most dangerous invasive species. This destruction is not unusual. Wild boars now roam in over 35 U.S. states, with a population of up to 6 million. Every year, they cause an estimated $2.5 billion in damages. Using their strong snouts and tusks, they plow through soil like farm tillers, destroying gardens, orchards, and even golf courses. They also compete with native wildlife like deer and turkeys for food, throwing ecosystems out of balance. Summer is the peak season for damage because wild fruits are scarce, pushing boars toward farmland. They are also dangerous to humans and livestock. Over 100 attacks on people have been reported in America, some fatal. Each boar can carry more than 30 pathogens and 37 types of parasites, making them a serious disease risk. Authorities fear that if African swine fever spreads to wild boars, it could devastate the United States pork industry. To control their numbers, hunting and trapping are widely encouraged. In Texas and other states, hunters use powerful rifles, often at night when boars are more active but less alert. Night vision gear helps spot them from a distance, and skilled hunters aim for the area just in front of the shoulder, where the heart and vital organs are. Boars are fast, up to 25 miles per hour, so accuracy is critical. Some hunters use trained dogs, bay dogs to corner and signal, and catch dogs to bite and hold until the hunter moves in. For those who prefer not to hunt, trapping is highly effective. Modern traps, sometimes costing up to $75,000, are equipped with cameras and remote triggers. Trappers bait the area with corn or molasses for up to 2 weeks, allowing the boars to get comfortable. Once the whole herd feeds regularly, the trap is activated, catching dozens at once. Thanks to strong steel frames and secure anchoring, these traps withstand even the hardest hits from large boars. While hunting offers adrenaline, trapping provides a quieter, steadier way to reduce numbers. Alligators. In Florida, hunting invasive alligators is more than just a pastime. It's an important way to keep people, pets, and the environment safe. While alligators are native to the state, their numbers can grow too high in certain areas, which leads to problems. They sometimes wander into neighborhoods, swim through canals near homes, or even attack livestock. To manage this, Florida allows licensed hunters to remove them, especially during the annual hunting season from August to November. Hunters help keep the population balanced and reduce the risks these reptiles pose. Alligator hunting takes skill and the right tools. Most hunters go out at night, when alligators are most active. They use boats to patrol swamps, lakes, and rivers, shining bright lights to catch the red glow of an alligator's eyes in the dark. Once spotted, Hunters might use harpoons, crossbows, or bang sticks, devices that fire when pressed against the gator. Some prefer baited hooks for smaller ones. It's not easy work. These animals are fast, powerful, and unpredictable, so patience and courage are key. Strict rules keep things safe and sustainable, like only harvesting gators over 4 feet long and sticking to permitted areas. Hunting them serves several purposes. Besides improving safety, alligator meat is eaten, and their hides are used to make leather products like belts, boots, and bags. Controlling their numbers also protects native wildlife, since gators can eat fish, birds, and even other reptiles. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission carefully sets quotas to ensure the species isn't harmed in the long run. Part of what makes alligator hunting so fascinating is the thrill. Some of these reptiles grow over 12 feet long and have some of the most powerful jaws in the animal kingdom. Hunters often share dramatic stories, like wrestling a massive gator or narrowly avoiding a sudden lunge. For many Floridians, it's more than a hunt. It's a tradition passed down through generations, mixing adventure, danger, and skill in equal parts. The adrenaline of facing such a strong predator is what keeps hunters coming back year after year. Canada goose. Goose hunting often begins with staking out their favorite foraging areas. Geese are naturally cautious and have excellent vision, making them tricky targets. They usually head to their feeding spots, often wide, open fields, early in the morning. Smart hunters spend a few days observing them beforehand, noting which fields they visit most often. This preparation can make all the difference. Decoys are a common tool in goose hunting. When used correctly, they can lure geese closer, giving hunters a better chance for a clean shot. Since geese are thick-skinned, they need to be close enough for hunters to clearly see their eyes before firing. That's why camouflage is essential. Geese are quick to spot anything unusual. Certain weather conditions work in a hunter's favor too. Fog, mist, low visibility, and strong winds are all ideal. Geese prefer to land into the wind, so knowing the wind direction helps hunters predict their approach. This allows for better placement of both decoys and shooting positions. When a flock does appear, hunters have to be ready. Geese can vanish just as suddenly as they arrive. Quick, accurate shooting is key. While some hunters use calls to attract them, targeting flocks is generally more effective than going after single birds. One of the biggest challenges in goose hunting is staying completely concealed. Geese view the ground from above as they fly in, so hiding behind a few hay bales without overhead cover won't fool them. Hunters often need blinds or natural surroundings that completely break up their outline from all angles. Another challenge is the weather itself. The best hunting conditions often involve what most people would call bad weather. Cold winds, drizzle, or even snow can work to the hunter's advantage, pushing the birds lower and closer. Still, this means hunters must be prepared for long hours in the elements. Timing is another critical factor. Hunters should be in position well before the first geese arrive. Decoys must be set, camouflage perfected, and weapons ready before the birds begin searching for food. Sometimes this involves hours of waiting, which is why warm, waterproof clothing is a must. When the moment comes, all the preparation pays off. Flocks sweep in, wings outstretched, eyes scanning the ground. If the hunters have done everything right, chosen the perfect location, read the wind, set the decoys, and stayed invisible, the geese will come close enough for a clean shot, like these geese did. White-tailed deer. Our next stop in the hunting journey takes us to one of the most well-known animals in North American forests, the white-tailed deer. In America alone, their population has grown to about 36 million. These deer are hunted for several reasons. For some, it's purely for sport, while others hunt for their meat, which is considered both healthy and delicious. In many areas, deer numbers are so high that they can damage crops, disrupt ecosystems, and even increase vehicle collisions. Hunting, when regulated, helps keep their population in check. Of course, hunters need a valid license and must follow strict limits on how many deer can be taken during the hunting season. The best time to hunt white-tailed deer is in winter. When the trees have shed their leaves, visibility improves, making it easier to scan the terrain and spot deer from a distance. Tracks are also easier to see in the snow or on bare ground. When tracking deer, hunters look for well-worn trails, especially near oak trees, that drop plenty of acorns, or farmlands with corn and beans, foods deer love. They also keep an eye out for dense thickets where deer like to bed down, especially during the morning hours. Many hunters choose to set up in tree stands, giving them a high vantage point and helping them stay hidden. Others prefer a more active approach, slowly moving through the woods while studying every clue the deer might leave behind. One of the most important things hunters must remember is the wind. A deer's sense of smell is extremely sharp, and a single whiff of human scent carried by the breeze is enough to make them bolt. Skilled hunters position themselves carefully so the wind works in their favor. Whether patiently waiting in a tree stand or quietly stalking through the forest, hunting white-tailed deer takes patience, attention to detail, and an understanding of the animal's habits. Rats. For centuries, hunters have relied on dogs to track down and catch rats. Across much of the world, this tradition is still alive, from dusty barns in the countryside to small farms tucked away in busy towns. In Hungary, however, the scene is quieter, with far fewer people taking part. Opinions on the practice vary widely. From an animal welfare standpoint, there are arguments both for and against it. Yet for terrier-type dogs, rat hunting isn't just work. It's instinct. It's what generations of breeding have prepared them for, much like how spaniels take naturally to bird hunting or German shepherds excel at guarding. Hunters often describe the satisfaction their dogs get from the chase. Ears up, tails stiff, eyes locked on the target. On the farm, the routine is simple. The dogs search, the rats scatter, and the hunters reward each successful find with a treat. Everyone knows their role. The result? Farms stay cleaner, food stores stay safer, and the dogs get to do the work they were born to love. Look at this one video where rat terrier dogs are hunting rats. Online discussions about rat hunting can spark intense debates, especially from rodent rescue groups. Interestingly, such heated opposition is far less common elsewhere. In other countries, even large animal welfare organizations have supported dog-led rat control as a humane and efficient method. The reasoning is straightforward. Rodents are intelligent, social, and capable of feeling pain, but they're also prolific breeders. Female rats can be in heat for 5 days straight, carry a pregnancy for just 3 weeks, and produce up to 23 pups in one litter. Left unchecked, their numbers explode, creating health and safety risks. And while they deserve respect, they aren't endangered, meaning population control is a necessity. That's where hunters' choice of dogs comes in. Terriers and terrier crosses are the classic pick. They're fast, smart, fearless, and have been bred for generations to pull small animals from holes and dens. Their sharp noses can detect the faintest scent, their jaws are powerful, and their independent streak allows them to work solo when the hunt demands it. As American rat hunter and breeder Jareed puts it, a great ratting dog needs 4 things: instinct, genetics, training, and practice. Without time spent in the field, building trust between hunter and dog, the skill never truly develops. But when all four elements come together, the results are swift, efficient, and deeply satisfying for both the hunter and their four-legged partner. Red foxes. The red fox is one of the most widespread wild animals on Earth. You can spot it across Europe, Asia, North America, and even parts of North Africa. Instantly recognizable by its reddish-orange fur, fluffy tail, and sharp, watchful eyes, the red fox is an expert at adapting to almost any environment. Whether it's deep forests, open grasslands, farmland, or even city suburbs, this animal finds a way to thrive. Red foxes are omnivores, meaning they aren't picky eaters. They hunt small animals like rabbits, squirrels, and mice, but they'll also eat birds, insects, berries, and fruit. If the opportunity presents itself, they'll take it, which is exactly why they survive so well in changing environments. They usually hunt alone, relying on their excellent hearing to detect the faintest movement underground or beneath snow. Once they hear prey, they leap high and land with pinpoint accuracy. Their reputation for being clever isn't just a saying. Sly as a fox comes from real behavior. Red foxes are smart problem solvers and have great memories, often hiding food and coming back for it later. They also talk to each other through a range of sounds, from barks to eerie screams, especially during winter when they're looking for mates. Humans have been hunting red foxes for centuries, both for sport and to protect livestock. In some countries, traditional fox hunting involves riders on horseback and trained hounds. Elsewhere, hunters might use rifles, calls, or tracking skills. Outwitting a fox is no easy task. They are fast, reaching speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, and can change direction in a split second. They also know how to use the landscape to their advantage, whether it's weaving through dense cover or vanishing over hills. They sometimes loop back on their own tracks to confuse pursuers. Even though they're hunted in some places, red fox populations remain strong. Their adaptability, quick breeding, and high survival skills keep their numbers steady. A pair of foxes can raise 4 to 6 kits in a year, and those young grow up fast, ready to live and hunt on their own. Here are some clips of hunters outwitting foxes. Turkeys. In North America, hunting wild turkeys is both a popular tradition and an important method of managing their numbers. There are currently about 7 million wild turkeys across the continent. They are striking birds with black feathers patterned with white bars on their wings and heads that can range from blue-gray to deep red. While beautiful wild turkeys can cause problems in urban and suburban areas. They leave droppings on sidewalks, gardens, and cars, sometimes damaging property. On the roads, they can be a hazard to drivers. Male turkeys, especially during breeding season, are known to act aggressively, charging at cars, windows, or even people. They often mistake their reflection for a rival male, which makes them even bolder. Because of this, turkey hunting is not just for sport. It also helps reduce their destructive behavior. Wild turkey hunting generally takes place in 2 main seasons, spring and fall. These birds can be found in many habitats, from open fields and dense hardwood forests to areas near streams. To locate them, hunters watch for tracks, strut marks in the dirt, and listen for their distinctive gobbling calls. The period between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. is often considered the best time to hunt, as turkeys are more active and less wary than early in the morning. To attract them, hunters use tools like box calls or slate calls to mimic turkey sounds. This draws the birds closer, sometimes close enough for hunters to remain hidden in trees for better camouflage and a clear view. Depending on state regulations, Hunters may use firearms or bows. A common mistake among beginners is aiming directly for the head, which moves too quickly to hit reliably. Experienced hunters instead aim for the neck or legs, larger, more stable targets that can bring the bird down effectively and humanely. Once a wild turkey is harvested, its meat can be cleaned, cooked, and enjoyed. Turkey meat is lean, flavorful, and a prized reward after a successful hunt. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.